have a real problem with daytime driving lights. More specifically, the type of people who don't know how to use them or what they're for. The clue's in the name, folks. Daytime. Okay, now, you may notice that I am driving at nighttime, okay? The car, it is actually dark out. The problem is, and this is the problem with a lot of cars nowadays that have been manufactured, is that they have daytime driving lights. The first thing to know about daytime driving lights, if you don't already know this, is when they're on, the tail lights of your car are not on. Okay, that's number one. Number two is they are only just to provide general illumination outside your car to make your car more visible. They are not to provide focused illumination, so they will dazzle drivers. Okay, so that's number two. Okay, number three, if you are a driver, it is your duty to know how to use your car. Okay, so that includes knowing how to use the lighting systems that the car is equipped with. You don't have a situation where pilots sit into the cockpit and just flip on every set of lights on the aircraft willy-nilly without thinking about what lighting systems they're supposed to have on at any given moment in time. You know, they know how to use the lighting systems on the aircraft. You as a driver should know how to use the lighting systems of your car for the same reason. This also, by the way, includes fog lights. If you feel the need to drive around with your fog lights on all the time, or put HID bulbs in your fog lights and leave them on all the time and just leave your side lights on, that makes you a dickhead, by the way. Just a little side note there. Why should you not drive around with your fog lights on all the time? Well, in the same way as the daytime running lights don't have a focused beam pattern for nighttime driving and to prevent dazzling for drivers, fog lights are the same. They don't have the focused beam pattern to prevent against dazzling, so they dazzle drivers. And that's why it's a particular problem when these assholes put xenon bulbs, ultra bright xenon bulbs in their fog lights and just leave them on all the time, and their side lights. I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. It doesn't look cool. I mean, all it does is get people's back up. And why would you want to get people's back up? I mean, do you have to be a complete pillock or something like that? But anyway, getting away from that, okay? The daytime driving light situation is becoming a problem because of the fact that, generally speaking, in many modern cars, in this Toyota Auris, it's exactly the same. The dashboard is illuminated regardless of whether or not you have your exterior lights on, and this car does have daytime driving lights. So if I was driving without any lights on, it would appear that there are lights on the front of the car, the dashboard is still lit up, but there's no tail lights on, which means that I could very easily have somebody rear end me, and that would make me very disappointed and sad, because I kind of like this car. And also, it's dangerous, and I would also be dazzling oncoming drivers. Incidentally, I do believe that car manufacturers and the regulators that regulate car design are largely to blame for this situation as well. It's not entirely the user's fault, okay? I do believe that daytime running lights should also include some form of tail lighting as well, and it should also be more obvious when your lights are not on the dashboard, and you know, it makes it a little bit more idiot proof. I don't believe everything should have to be idiot proof, but unfortunately, never underestimate an idiot, folks. You know yourself. So if you're out driving and you don't know whether your lights are on, it's very simple. Have a look at your dashboard first of all, okay? There is an indication on the dashboard to tell you whether your lights are on. A little green light, okay? Number two, turn your switch. Not all cars have automatic lights. Some of them don't have automatic lights, like this Toyota I'm driving. The lights are either, I have to turn the lights on and off every time I want them, okay? Pretty basic stuff, okay? My Volkswagen Beetle, I have to turn the lights on when I want them, okay? So we know how to do these things, all right? So I was driving on the M50, which is a busy road in Dublin recently, and there was a Nissan X-Trail, one of the new generation Nissan X-Trails. The owner of it was driving around with his daytime driving lights on, hadn't got a notion how to use his lights. I tried to flash him a couple of times, and all he did was he turned his side lights on, which brought the tail lights on, and then turned it back off again. 2 clicks, you know, side lights, then dipped beams. And then main beams for when you're not driving ahead of somebody or you're on a dark road or something like that, okay? But, you know, this is all basic stuff, you know. As I said, learn how to use your car. And as I said, don't be a dick. Don't drive around with your fog lights on all the time, okay? It doesn't make you look big or clever. It just makes you look like a dickhead. And why would you want to look like a dickhead? I don't understand it at all, okay? So, yeah, bit of a rant, but, you know, look, kind of worth bearing in mind. If you're not sure about the features of your car, your lights or something like that, sit into the car on your driveway, turn the lights on to various different positions, walk around the outside of the car and see what does what. It doesn't take that long, you know, and at least that way then you can be sure. On Toyotas, by the way, it's the left stalk. You just twist the outermost part of the stalk 2 clicks, and that turns on your dipped beams. The inner ring on the stalk turns on. 1 click turns on your front fog lights. 2 clicks turns on your rear fog lights, and you get a visual indication on the dashboard for those too. Again, basic enough stuff. So yeah, just as I said, bit of a rant. Thought it was worth mentioning. You know, maybe. If you're watching this and you already know this, just think to yourself, you know what, there are people out there that might watch this video who don't know it, so don't be too critical of me making this video. It's a general information video, you know. Anyway, look, thanks for watching, folks, and I shall chat to you soon.